Coming up, we had one of the best meals that we've had at Universal in recent memory, but it wasn't completely perfect. So you're going to have to stay tuned for all of that information on this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. I'm your host, Craig Williams. Today, I'm joined alongside by my co-host, Rhino.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to this week's show. We have a good one for you. We are talking dining. We have another dining review for you, and I promise it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great one, actually. I feel that confident about this. But before we do get to that dining review, hey, I told you, no talking. No talking unless you're being addressed specifically. If you do like all of the content that we produce and you want to support us, please consider using Dreams Unlimited Travel for your upcoming Universal vacation, Walt Disney World vacation even. It doesn't matter to us. Any vacation that Dreams Unlimited Travel books, we can help you get there, and you can support us at the exact same time. Cost no extra money. The agents are experts in the vacations that they do sell: Universal, Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney World, Disneyland. You know the list from everything we do. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, wow, we've got a lot to go over, and maybe we'll do that soon. But yeah, supporting them means you're supporting us, and we can continue making ridiculous videos like this one. So please consider it. DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com. You can get a free, no obligation quote today, and you can get that vacation booked because that Velocicoaster is coming and you're not going to want to miss it. No one wants to miss it. And then Halloween Horror Nights starts soon after that. You're not going to want to miss that either. And so get that vacation on the books right now. But before you even do that, you can always leave us comments and questions down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. And then, of course, if you are listening to this, you can always reach out to us on social media or email to get in touch with us. We have all that information available at disunplugged.com, how to get in contact with us. And then please like this video if you are watching it, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel or subscribed on your favorite podcast app. That would be very, very important to do, in my opinion. But I think I got all that out of the way now. Rhino, did I miss anything?
No.
Oh, you did freeze this time, though.
I did freeze. I couldn't tell if I was frozen or not. I was standing so still.
You sounded perfect, but your mouth just never moved. So for the audio people, I guess technically you're always frozen in their minds.
Dummy. Oh, it was like the dummy with their arm, and my butt wasn't moving the mouth right today.
Hey, you know what?
No, I don't like the visual.
I'm okay with that. It sounds like you've got a great ventriloquist working on you. And
also, I would be the dummy, not the person with their hand. Okay, yeah. I clearly just don't understand ventriloquism, so it's fine. It's
all good. I can barely say it, so we're right there together. But I'm going to give a shout out then to our Patreon. Patreon.com/DIS Unplugged. There is some exclusive content that you'll probably like on there. There's probably a lot more that you won't like, but it is another way to help support us, and especially Rhino and myself. So if you are interested in what that content might be, you know what? Sign up for a month. Go through the back catalog. If you say, "Hey, I like these people," maybe I'll support them a little while longer. It's all there. Let's cut the malarkey here. We ate at Fire Eater's Grill at Islands of Adventure. And you might be asking, what is Fire Eater's Grill if you're not necessarily a massive Universal fan? Maybe you've been there. Chances are you probably walked right past Fire Eater's Grill and didn't notice it at all because, well, besides Mythos, people don't really go into the Lost Continent and say, you know what I want? Food.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what people do inside the Lost Continent, to be quite honest with you. But
yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, well, I don't know what they're doing in there, except for trying to probably. I don't. I think there's a relaxation station, basically.
Well, yeah, there's a relaxation station. A fountain will talk to you. There's the attraction that's in there.
There's some charms.
Yeah, there's charms. I'm sure I don't know if the henna is around anymore. I feel like it is. I don't. But
Mythos.
But yeah, well, that's ultimately they come for Mythos. If you're coming to the Lost Continent, I think you're going for Mythos more than likely. But if you don't want to sit down and eat, but you said, hey, I really like what's happening here in this Lost Continent, I want to sit here and eat, but I don't know what I want to eat. Well, there is Fire Eater's Grill is an option, and it turns out it's actually a really good option. It's potentially an amazing option. And this is a restaurant that I think we mentioned briefly on our dining episode that we put out a little bit ago, that we were waiting to do a review on it. And so when we decided to finally review it, it basically was that Rhino and I were both in the mood for something light. We did not want something heavy. We are going to go and review Luigi's at some point. Or not Luigi's. I guess Luigi's has... Louis, sorry.
Louis, I was like, the pizza place?
Yeah. We are going to review Louis inside Universal Studios Florida, but it's also Louis is basically
of the
like
Mario and Luigi's.
Yes, of course. I feel like that's the name of the pizza inside Springfield, though, and that's maybe where it's all blended together.
Yeah,
I'm really off my game right now today. I'm getting really tired, and this is not going well. But okay, yeah, we're gonna do that eventually one day. But we wanted something light and airy, and so I was like, okay, let me look at Fire Eater's Grill again, because I know that they have the gyro there, and I can probably convince Rhino to eat the gyro, and then I'll get something else. But oh man, we were pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised when I looked at the menu, and one of Rhino's favorite vegetarian foods was added to the menu as an option in a gyro, which meant we don't have to focus on the other items on that menu that we didn't really want. And so I pitched it to him, and he ran with it. And so,
oh yeah,
that's
literally, I was running when you pitched it to me.
Yes, that was exactly it. So, and he went full-fledged into it. He's like, we're going to do this because I want it. And so we headed
Why
there.
do I sound like the guy from Silence of the Lambs in your head? Yeah. I want this.
I
want that lotion.
Listen, I didn't realize until I was like 23 that I spoke in a monotone voice. People always just ask me like, why do you speak like that? And I'm like, speak like what? And like, well, it's just one. It's one tone. Like, I feel
one
like
note.
I feel like I'm inflecting all over the place. And they're like, well, no, that's you're raising the volume up and down, but the tone is just straight. Like, I don't know what's happening here with me, but Fire Eater's Grill. So I am going to talk about the other options that are on the menu that we didn't get, because there are a few. But Fire Eater's Grill, again, located in Lost Continent. Just if you're heading towards the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, it's just after Mythos on the left side, and it's clustered right in with all the gift shops and such in that area. You honestly can't miss it, but at the same time, it is not a big quick service restaurant in the same way that that Mel's or another restaurant is inside different areas of the park. This is a stand for all intents and purposes. Yeah. I don't think that's actually
like a kiosk.
How you say that. Yeah, a kiosk for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's the window. Yeah, go up and you order at the windows, and then they hand you your food in a different window. So a very small outfit, not over the top in size, but it can get a very long line. And what do they serve there? Well, they have a variety of options, from a crispy greens salad, but actually... The salad might be good, but I'll get to that in a second. They have a hot dog combo that you can get with chili and cheese, or you can just get the hot dog with chili and cheese. And we'll get into all this because this is more controversy with this one. They have chicken stingers here, and chicken stingers are basically chicken fingers that are then doused in hot sauce. This was like part of my diet 3 days a week, I think, when I worked at Universal for 2 years straight. It was like I either got pizza on my breaks or we went to one of the grills and we got chicken stingers, because that was like the one thing that, like, they're never going to get that wrong. It's just deep fried chicken smothered in hot sauce. It's so good. But I've also had so many of them in my life that I cannot ingest anymore. So that's on the menu, but didn't get it. And then chicken fingers, if you don't want them zinging, or stingers in this case. I think zingers are trademarked by the Ale House. So
yeah, I was gonna say.
So that's,
everyone adds a different letter. That's how they get creative. You know.
Exactly. The next one will be stingers, but with a Z at the end, I believe, to make it fancy. But pricing on all this stuff's not bad. Like the hot dog platter, stingers and fingers, it's $12.49, $11.79, $10.99, and all of those come with a side dish, which is French fries. You can also get them as a combo, where you also get a choice of a treat in the mix as well too, for a little extra money. And I'm not going to go over the pricing on that, but the main reason why we went there is for the gyros, as I said, and there's two different types of gyros. They have the traditional gyro platter, and that's $9.99, and it comes served with hummus. And then what Rhino got hooked on here, a falafel gyro. Falafel gyro. He loves falafel.
I do like falafel a lot when it's cooked right. I have had falafel where it felt like I was biting into a sand dune, but but when falafel is cooked right, it is so good. I really like it. I'm a big texture person. I love the texture.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point, that with falafel, it's really important that it is cooked correctly, because I feel like falafel is one of those dishes that I will order from time to time. Like, yeah, I love falafel, and then I'll have really bad falafel. And I'm like, no, this makes me feel awful.
Oh, you did it.
I always make that joke at least one time. But you can also get the falafel on the salad. So that's another way you can enjoy the falafel here. So I think that's fun. But yeah, so I got the traditional gyro, and Rhino got the falafel gyro platter. And as I said, $9.99. That's for both of them, and they were supposed to be served with a side of hummus. So before we say how we felt about them, which you already know how we feel about them, but before we say how we feel, we did not get our hummus with this.
Got stiffed on the hummus.
Yeah, and this was one of those things where we probably should have been a little bit more vocally active about it, because I sold Rhino by looking at the online menu saying, yeah, it's gyros, and they have a falafel one, and it's served with hummus.
Yeah. And it says on the menu in the app, it literally, like, I'm looking at it right now, right here, serve with hummus, serve with hummus, serve with hummus, serve with hummus. Like, it says the word hummus on here so many times, and French fries is present under like chicken fingers and stuff like that. But when you get to the location, the menu board that was there, I think, is out of date, or it says the word hummus does not appear on the menu board at the location, except in reference to peanut butter hummus, which is one of the treats, which we did not get, but I guarantee you I will go back to see what that's about at some point. But that was why I was like, oh, I guess they don't have hummus here?
Yeah, and so it was very confusing for us there, because we were like, okay, well, we thought it came with it. And she asked, do we want fries? And we are like, okay, well,
no, thank you.
I don't want fries with it. And I figured how it was that the traditional gyro, or the falafel gyro, that if you get that and it comes with hummus, that's that. But to add fries, that's what would turn it into the combo. And this was,
I thought so too.
Poor reading, and then also not understanding the menu. So I'm not blaming the person working there, because it's my fault for not asking more than anything, and not being more inquisitive about it. But so she asked if we wanted
to go
fries.
back and like Yeah, I was going to say,
ahead.
I went back to reread the menu and I was like, it was easily a misunderstanding. Yeah. Like it was one of those where it wasn't necessarily clear because combos in other places include the milkshake and everything like that. So it was one of those where we're like, no, we just want like the basic, whatever, you know.
It potentially could have been solved if we would have just mobile ordered, which was an option, but I would, with universal and mobile ordering, I would actually just rather pay at the counter. It's just easier, in my opinion, right now still. It's not perfect.
I was going to say there was only like one group in front of us too when we went up to order. So it wasn't like there was a line. It was just, it would have been faster to walk up and order, I think.
Exactly. But Rhino, overall, how was this thing when all was said and done?
It was really good. I have honestly kept thinking about it. I think there's nothing about it I really would have changed, to be honest with you. I thought the pita was cooked perfectly, or it was just the right. It was nice. It was fresh. It was fluffy. It was that perfect texture that I like. I thought the falafel was also cooked perfectly. It was like crispy on the outside and had that nice like chickpea kind of I don't want to say texture. But anyway, if you've had falafel before, you know it can, if it's like overdone or left too long, it can really dry and just be like hard. And this was just that like perfect. I had like fresh piece of falafel. Also, there was a lot of falafel in the wrap too. It had probably 4 or 5 pieces in the wrap. Yep. So there was plenty of it. I've had things before where it's just like 2 or 3 and you're like, oh, I could have used one more, but this one was great. I thought, I would have even thrown more tzatziki into my wrap as well, but I thought the sauce was good there. It was just the right amount of like the lettuce was chilled with the sauce, but then the pita was nice and warm, and the falafel was warm. So it was like this nice combination all wrapped up together. I immediately was like, I am definitely going to eat this again. So even if we had gotten the hummus, I was like, I'm going to come back for this peanut butter treat. And I know when I go back for the peanut butter hummus dessert, I'm going to get another one of these falafel desserts. I'm going to call it a dessert because it'll be second lunch if it has to be. But I was very happy with my choice and would get it again in a heartbeat, like I said.
Yeah, I am right. I'm right there with you. Not on the falafel, obviously. I didn't have it. I'm right there with you in terms of what I had, the traditional. Still never figured out what type of meat it actually was. Probably should have asked, but I did not. So I'm going to keep on pretending that it was lamb and just be like, yeah, they did that. But I don't know.
Did you say lamp?
Lamb. Did I say lamp?
Okay, you had to pop a little bit and you said lamp. So it sounded like you said lamp. And I'm like, oh.
Maybe I said lamp. Yeah. I'll be honest.
He loves lamp. You love lamp.
I do love lamp. I might have said lamp. Lamp.
Yeah, you had the pop.
Yeah. I think I said lamp.
Just want to be clear. We're talking about lamb here.
Lamb. And even then, as I've said now, I don't know if it's actually even lamb. It's probably not. It's probably some beef combination. They probably just go down the street to Trader Joe's and buy the frozen stuff and reheat it. They don't do that. It's actually it's way better than that, but I don't know. For all I know, it could be frozen. All I know is it did taste really good. But I do have to give mine just a slight knock. On those first couple bites that I had, it was everything you described. A fluffy pita. Mm-hmm. Mine did get a little crunchy at the end that was exposed to the sun because like it kept baking in the sun. It was a really hot day and it was really sunny. So that wasn't anything on the pita. It was just on the part that was exposed to light where it started to get a little crunchy, but still delicious. And the meat on it was excellent. It was A+ as far as that goes. But the tzatziki, they could have definitely had more on it for my taste and less of the lettuce, tomato, and onion. Specifically in my case, that shredded lettuce was just holding so much moisture, even more than the sauce on it. Like that wasn't having a bad impact. It was that watery iceberg lettuce that really started to sink into the pita and made it a little bit. It made it watery. Honestly,
yeah. I was gonna say yours dripped when you were eating yours. Like I didn't have that. I thought that was from like the meat and the tzatziki, but that I guess
Yeah, mine was
it.
dripping because of the moisture from the lettuce and maybe a little bit of the tomatoes too. And so I did end up I scraped off a little bit of the lettuce and tried to get a good amount off. And as soon as I did that, I mean, it was I got the right combination. So they just went a little heavy-handed on it, and because of the moisture, it didn't make the entire thing like super impressive, but honestly, that is like the most minor of complaints. That's if you're looking for something to knock on it. It was incredible. I will be back here, and knowing that you do get hummus with it as long as you ask for it or you're told correctly. That meal for $9.99. I just don't know how you beat it. And if you're an annual pass holder, you can get it with your annual pass discount.
Yeah.
So our meal for the two of them came out to be $16.60, right around that. I forget the exact amount. I know it was $16.60 something. And what a deal.
I think that was worth it even without the hummus. Like you just said, like the hummus adds that extra value to it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Although I am curious. I wonder, I guess we'll have to investigate this, if it's just hummus or if it comes with like pita or something. Because if they're just giving you a bowl of hummus, do you just like add it to the wrap? Because I was saying, oh, that's what I would have done if I had it. Now,
no idea.
Oh, twist my arm. I'll go back and check.
No idea. None at all. But I know that it would be very bready probably if they like it would almost be too much bread is what I meant. Like see, that would be great. I would guess it would be pita chips if they were to give you something with it. But again, we don't know because we screwed that one up. We screwed that one up major. So there's no coming back from that. But based on what we had, I can already go ahead and read between the lines. If you're going to Fire Eater's Grill for those gyros, you want something that's not just chicken fingers, hot dogs, burgers, even I'll go and say ribs and chicken with that. If you want something that's like, okay, that is slightly different, absolutely give Fire Eaters a try. That was so good. I fairly priced and just really tasty. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, same. I was going to say this is, I think I really enjoy something where it was really good. I can imagine that sometimes it might be off, but it was really good. It was definitely one of those things in the theme park where you're like, when it's the value. The same reason we said we like those crepes too, is that we felt like we were getting like such good quality for the value of the money. And so I feel like this is on point with that. A nice, good, like grab and go when, doesn't take you forever. You could walk around with it if you want, but.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And, I think that might now be it for this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. So I realized that this was like a 30-minute episode. We talked about food for 10 minutes at the end, and then there was a bunch of nonsense in between. But you know what? I got nothing.
We love hummus.
Yeah, there was a lot of backstory that we didn't realize was going to be needed. Had we done the review in the park, this would have been an easy 10-minute video. But this is what happens when we have too much time to reflect on it, and we also have too much time to really get into the specifics that probably are completely unnecessary for it. But it was fun. I think we had some laughs. We've been
dreaming about it. We've just been thinking about it, romanticizing it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's all we can do. So, Rhino, thank you so much for going to eat with me.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and thank you for talking to me about it here.
Yeah, always. I'm hungry.
Me too. I'm not, though, but I could eat. I could always eat. So it'll all be good. But hey, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch and listen to as well. And just want to remind you once again about all the stuff that I have to, like extra information available at disunplugged.com. We have Dreams Unlimited Travel, helping you plan the perfect universal vacation. So go to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. If you like our content and want to support us, that's where you need to go to book a vacation. And then also all of the stuff about how you're watching this or listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you're leaving those comments and questions for us. And then also hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. And then with podcasts, please make sure you are subscribed on whatever platform you're listening. If I'm missing a platform for the show that I just forgot about, please let me know that as well too. That'll be helpful. And then also, if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave us positive ratings and reviews, and maybe I'll read it on an upcoming episode. So I think that is all of the important stuff. So we're going to go ahead and tie this show up and say goodbye to it, set it out to sea. We've got to go eat some Fire Eaters Grill, big Fire Eaters Grill, big happy, big fire, all that combined into one. So thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition, watching or listening to it. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next week or sometime with another episode of the show. But until then, remember, we still haven't changed the name.